darling.
Hey,
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm very good, thank you. Probably been pronouncing your name wrong. How do I pronounce it?
It's Umida.
Umida.
Yeah.
Hi, and welcome to Pageant Land online interviews. Thank you so much for agreeing just for me to interview you, because I know you guys are busy and you're getting ready for the finals and things like that. And you taking 30 minutes out of your day has been really great. I'm grateful for it. So thank you.
No problems. This is exciting.
It is. So one of the things that I've been asking all of the contestants is, what made you want to compete for Miss Universe GB? And I know this isn't your first time, is it?
Oh, hell no. No,
so let's get into it.
Yeah, no, this is actually my 5th time doing Miss Universe Great Britain.
Wow.
Yeah, it's crazy. And this is the last year that I can do it, because, you know, I'm getting old. So next year I'll officially age out.
Ouch.
I know. But yeah, no, so this is my 5th time. I've done it before. The first time I applied, I was 21.
Yeah.
And time has just gone by so quick. But it's just such a fun competition. And, you know, as cliche as it might sound, it is a dream of mine. To win nationally and have the opportunity to go to Miss Universe. And, you know, you got to be in it to win it. So, yeah, so I'm giving it another go.
Is Miss Universe the only pageant that you've done, or have you competed elsewhere as well?
I've done an international pageant before, but in terms of the nationally sort of recognized ones, so, you know, you've got this, and, you know, in terms of that, this is the only one that I've, you know, just been applying myself. You know, it's been the only goal, if you like, year in, year out. So yeah, so this is the main goal, if you like.
Okay, so why do you want to win Miss Universe GB?
So the reason why I would like to win Miss Universe Great Britain is, I mean, apart from the fact that, you know, I've been following Miss Universe since the age of sort of 6, 7, and, you know, hoping to be one of the women on that stage representing my country. But apart from that, the platform that it creates is huge. And, you know, I've always wanted to sort of reach out to wider audiences in terms of, you know, what women are capable of doing. And, you know, I myself, I actually work in the construction industry. And, you know, the company I'm in, we only make up about 30% us women. So there's not much of us around. So, yeah, so I just, you know, really want to sort of do something that is considered to be really, you know, feminine, but the end goal is, so what it comes with is to show that, you know, you can be a woman in a non-feminine industry and do feminine things and really put your feminist stamp on it.
Yeah. Well, that's wonderful to hear. And one of the questions is, because you've competed so many times now, because to be fair, I haven't followed the Miss Universe journey religiously. It's one of those where every time it's come up it's been around my birthday, and I've been missing it every single year. And this was going to be the first year that I could do it, but then COVID happened. But with you having competed so many times, have you placed before and things like that? So what's been your journey been like for the Miss Universe crown?
Yeah, so 15, and I really just sort of went into it not knowing what to expect, because, you know, you really don't know what's going to happen. And yeah, on that year, you know, I went into it, and you know, girls have done internationals before, and it was just one of those things where you kind of have to put your hand up and just admit the fact that you wasn't as prepared as you thought you was, because what to expect and, you know, what was the level of it. The main thing I will say is the competition has changed so much in the last years. I mean, 2015, 2016, you know, it wasn't as big as it is now, whereas sort of from 2017 onwards, it kind of just shifted, you know. We've just sort of, I feel like we've been taking it more seriously, and we've got more girls coming forward, and I think, it might have, one of the impacts would have been the fact that, in 2017, Anna, who went to Miss Universe, she placed, and so those kind of things, definitely gives like positive waves, and it has had an impact on the strength of the pageant here in the UK.
Yeah. And so with one of the questions that I did want to ask you is, what makes you different from the other girls competing this year?
Yeah, well, we're all different. No one girl is the same as the other. I guess, what makes you different? That's a tough question. I mean, I'm a determined person. I'm a dreamer. I never give up, and I'm on this journey once again, and I'm putting my sort of best foot forward. And I'm a very driven person, so I'm still at work, FYI. So tomorrow is the big day. So I've got pretty much everything in place apart from my interview dress, my interview outfit, which you might have noticed I keep on glancing at the door because I had an update from Hermes that apparently they've got my parcel. So I'm kind of freaking out a little bit.
Oh, that just makes me stressed out on you girls' behalf. As probably you guys have noticed this week, is that I get stressed out on other people's behalf when they're not prepared and ready. I feel like I normally have my things prepared and ready the first week that I know that I'm competing, and then for the rest of the remainder I've got nothing to prepare for. But you guys seem to be so laid back and so chilled, and you're doing things the night before, which is so stressful.
Yeah, we've not been doing it the smart way, I gotta say. But you know what? This year has just been so up and down, so unpredictable. I mean, it was in Monday, it got announced that we're going into tier 3, and we just didn't know, can we travel? Can we do it? Is it going ahead? I gotta say, hats off to our national director for pulling this off, because all the girls have just been buzzing and looking forward to it since the summer when we thought this was initially going to go ahead. So really excited that we've got something to look forward to, as last minute as it's been, but it'll be good. It'll be worth it.
I'm honestly just so glad that I've just done this live with you, because now I know the finals will be held in London, only because for the tidbit that you've given us, saying that because you guys just went into tier 3. So Kev, I will be coming to your inbox since it's in London.
Do you know what? It's in less than 24 hours, so I hope I don't get into too much trouble.
No, but do you need the crown, or does the crown need you?
I'd like to say the latter, and the reason being is because I've said this before. Every year, every winner of Miss Universe Great Britain has been a different winner, has been a different girl that adds a different flavor, that brings something else to the table. And we've had former athletes, we've had lawyers, we've had people from all walks of life, and we haven't had a construction girl. And just to be with a woman in a man's world, just sort of bringing in a completely different aspect, I guess, to being a woman in my 20s, and just the whole concept of striving to show that you're competent, and you're on par to men in a way. And it's very different, and only, I guess, women who have been in similar situations in challenging industries more or so would understand it. But there's just that concept of so many girls do not put themselves into these positions, into these industries, because that that feeling of being intimidated almost. So so I feel like with the crown, with the platform, I just want to spread that message across to as many girls, younger than me, older than me, it doesn't really matter, just to say that we can flourish in any industry, because there's room for us.
Yeah. So with part 2 of that question is, what do you then bring to the crown? So apart from your platform and things that you advocate for, but what do you personally bring to the crown that you think that other girls don't bring the same thing?
Just experience, expertise in a different field, different stories as to what could happen, and you know, what you could experience and have to overcome it in challenging industries and challenging situations, and how to not to feel that you are like a man, but you are equal to man, because that's the main area that people get confused, and that applies to women and men. You know, so for some reason people think that we are want to be seen as the same. We're not same, different. We want to be seen equal, and that's the key difference. And it's just something that I would like to sort of discuss more, bring more, sort of shed more light to it. And just, you know, there's nothing wrong with working in your heels. There's nothing wrong with being feminine and a feminist, but you can do that in every industry, in every field that you want to.
Yeah, which is great to hear. One of the things, because you're going to be aging out, unfortunately, next year because of age limits and things like that. But if you weren't going to be aging out, and would you compete next year again?
Yes.
Why? I hope you don't mind me asking this question, but one of the things that I've done also is I'll probably compete for a system twice, 3 times max, 4 times max. I say that, but why would you compete like without getting to the end goal so many times?
There's a saying that I quite like, which is that a success is stumbling from a failure to failure without losing enthusiasm. And it's really hard. And I have competed with many girls before from different parts of the country, and you know, they've done it once, they've done it twice, they've done it 3 times, and then they stop. And I understand that completely, because the drive and the need to do it, and the reasoning, you know, you could have reasonings, you want the crown, you want the opportunity, or you know, whatever it may be, but that's hunger that is in you, that is just really difficult to create, I guess. It's catalyst that's within you.
Yeah.
Go, yes, I can do it, yes, I will do it, and then press apply. And you know, I've heard it so many times that, you know, from others, where it's probably one of the hardest things to do is to put yourself forward. And you know, there's people who wonder if they're good enough, or if, you know, if they've done a couple times and clearly they don't have what it takes. And you know, my previous experiences, you know, I've had good years, I've had bad years. I've had a year where I won the public vote by a landslide, and you know, it doesn't necessarily, you know, mean anything, but you just know that in certain areas you can excel, and there's always room to improve. And then, you know, if you still believe in yourself, you've got to do it.
Yeah. And so what would be your one message that you'd want others to know, apart from the fact that you can compete in, as in be part of a male dominated field, and that women can do what men can do just as well? Because I'm a great believer of that myself. But like, what's the one thing that you want to be known for? And like, if pageant girls were to be like, Umida, this is what she stands for, what would it be?
So in the world of pageants, or you know,
just in general, both in pageants and in your personal life.
I just like to be, this sounds like something that, you know, you would want on your tombstone when you're dead.
Well, let's hear it.
And I would like people to just remember me as, you know, because the thing is with the pageant world, you don't necessarily stay in contact with everyone, but you would hope that you've touched different people in some way, perhaps. And I guess I just would like to be remembered as the girl who never gave up.
And you haven't given up so far. And but I think that's also a testament to you and how much you want this title. And so what's the work that you've put in this year? Because I know with 2020 and COVID and things like that, we haven't been able to do the fundraising the way that we've always done it. We haven't been able to meet up with the contestants and things like that. And it's kind of created a new rule book to how we approach pageants. So what's your preparation been like to prepare you for the crown?
So this year has been a bit unorthodox in terms of prep. So, you know, charity work hasn't been great, unfortunately, which, you know,
for everyone.
Yeah, it's been the saddest part really, because you know the money we raise and it goes to the A Sisterhood, and each year makes such a huge difference. So we're gonna have something, but it's not as big as, you know, we usually can contribute. But in terms of prep, so I'm quite lucky that my housemate slash best friend is a personal trainer, so we live together. So yeah, so we've been having some late evening sessions. Yeah, I'm sure she's gonna make me do some crazy stuff again tonight once I get home. Yeah, she's dragged in some stuff from her gym as well, so you know, some weird sized weights and whatnot. So yeah, so we will be doing some more of that ahead of tomorrow. But yeah, I mean, you know, there's very little in terms of prep that we could have done this year. So we just had a matter of, you know, weeks to know, you know, who's made the cut, and you know, where we're going, where it's being held, what we need to do. You know, we've been just doing everything via Zoom, which is just not the same. And
Yeah.
or it's going to be a little sad as well, because you know we can't hug, we can't even high five. So it's going to be very different indeed. But I'm sure it'll be exciting nevertheless.
So, but in terms of also going on to how you found this year's group of contestants, because every year that you've competed, obviously the girls change and things like that, and there'll be some familiar faces and some faces that are not. What's the process of getting to know everyone? How's that been like this year?
Well, we've got our WhatsApp group, which is handy. So
I want to be part of that WhatsApp group, by the way.
Gotta add you. No, it's good fun. So you know, we obviously, you know, we're sharing tips on, you know, what to do, how to get your fake tan right, and you know, just random stuff, you know, that'll just help you to prep. And you know, obviously we've got some girls coming from different parts of the country, so you know, we're just giving advice to each other as to, you know, what taxis you can get, you know, where you can stay, where you can do this and that. So yeah, so that's been really important. I mean, you know, for the last couple of months we've been very active on that. All of us are talking all the time and sharing stories, and you know, for the last couple of days it's been popping, like it's been going to the group chat. And because obviously, you know, everybody's just sharing their anxieties, what to pack, what not to pack. And yeah, so it's been good fun. And everybody's so different, and there's some really colorful characters, so it's been good to get to know all the girls.
Oh, that's good to hear, and to hear that you guys haven't let 2020 get your spirits down, and you've been able to still communicate and create the friendship groups, because I think that's the one thing that personally I enjoy from competing, is just meeting new people, and my best friends have been made from pageantry and things like that. So it's great to know that you guys have been able to gel and still communicate and become friends in that way. One of the questions that has popped up this week is the use of social media, because of how much we've been involved with it this year. Should social media be considered by judges?
In terms of
your content, you're following everything to do with social media, should it be included in your judging scores? Because if take 2020 for an example, without us seeing your social medias, we wouldn't have an idea of what you guys have done this year. So it's a great way to get your platform across. It's a great way to tell people more about you. So without social media this year, honestly, you guys could say, well, I managed to go to the moon and no one would know. But should judges consider social media and what you post and how you post it and your engagement and things like that? Should that be included as a judging criteria going forward?
Personally, I mean, the thing with social media is, unfortunately, you know, it just, you know, you either love it or you don't, and it, you know, it has had negative impacts on people's lives and continues to do so, but at the same time it has had a great impact where, you know, it has helped people build themselves, build their businesses, etc. The key thing, I think, with regards to social media that everybody needs to remember, regardless of their age or what they do with social media, is the fact that your Instagram are your highlights. So you wouldn't have people putting in on their story crying after a job interview to say didn't get the job, or
I do.
do you?
Yeah. I'm one of those advocates that you've got to be as real as possible, both in your online and offline. Yes, it's a highlight reel of your best days. But I think that it's important that we share our bad days. And for anyone who knows my personal socials, I put everything on there. It's not always about the good days. It's sometimes the bad days, the days that are difficult to get out of bed days. So I think that's important to highlight, that there are people who are using their platforms not just as a highlight reel, but to share causes and things like that. So don't you think that's an important aspect that judges should also see?
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, obviously on social media where you can't obviously meet, especially this year, you know, where you can't gather a room of people, where there's 10 people or 100 people, social media reflects what you do behind closed doors. It reflects what you stand for, and, you know, just, you know, it just shows you on a scroll page, if you like. But at the same time, you know, with social media, I do still believe that it's all about being careful, and, you know, especially around, you know, with the lockdown and everything, where people had no content to share because they couldn't do certain things. They couldn't go to, you know, cinemas and whatnot, you know, and or see their friends. And, you know, there is that sense of where some other parts of the world, people could do stuff, and people would look at that, they would let that affect their mood, they would feel down. And I appreciate that obviously you put your good days and bad days, but trust me, it's a very small percentage.
Oh yeah, it is.
Overall, which is fine, you know. We all have a different way of dealing with our good days and bad days, but overall I think social media is there to help for connecting with people, promoting your business, or just being yourself, you know. But at the same time, just as everything with life, you just got to take it with a pinch of salt, and just know that sometimes what you see there could be an edited version, it could be could be airbrushed, you know. It is not 100% true life.
Yeah, which is a great perspective to perception. Oh, I can never say this word, perspective. Sorry, guys. As you know, English is not the first, the second, and third language. That's my excuse all the time. But it's a great you know what I'm trying to say, in terms of, it's a great way to see it, and it's an argument for and against, but it's nice to see what other people's opinions are on the terms of social media, on the topic of social media, I should say. But a lighter question is, what are you looking forward to for tomorrow, and what's your prep been like for like today and tomorrow? And I know you're at work at the current moment.
So yeah, so today's been a crazy day for me. So obviously I've been at work since about 9:15, and I'm still here waiting for my parcel. What has to, and so they've sent me a feedback to say that I should have it by 9 p.m. So I'm still going to be put, you know, I'll stay put here till about 9 p.m. Fingers crossed I won't get my parcel, because it's got my interview round outfit, which is like a dream outfit. So please, everybody, keep your fingers crossed, because I really wanted to arrive. But in terms of tomorrow, it's a really early, you know, I'll be waking up super early tomorrow and sorting out my fuzzy hair, and gonna get the makeup done, because once we get to the venue, there's very little time in between. So basically have to arrive and, you know, ready to go. Obviously it's going to be, like I said, it'll be a very different feel. We'll be social distance the whole time, masks on, plenty of hand sanitizers. But yeah, so tomorrow it's, you know, I'm just setting off nice and early. I've got a whole itinerary tomorrow, so be sure to check out the Miss Universe Great Britain Instagram page, and each one of us will obviously be uploading plenty of stories and photos throughout the day. I'm not going to ruin it even more and tell you where the venue is. But,
I think I have a good idea as to where the venue is. And I think after this live, I will be talking to Kev, because he's been dangling it in my face as to the fact that he can't tell me. But I think I've got a good idea as to where it is. But in terms of everything going on, I just want to thank you for coming onto this live and giving us a chance to get to know you a little bit better. And because this is your last year competing in it, unfortunately, I wish you all the best of luck for tomorrow. And I do hope your interview arrives on time and you're able to wear it, because if not, I'm already stressing. Please message me tomorrow to say yes, it did arrive.
Okay,
And
I'll message you tonight. Even if I get it midnight, you'll find out.
we need to find out, because I'm going to stress over it. But otherwise, apart from that, guys, make sure that you're following Pageant Land online. We will be posting like crazy tomorrow, and we'll be reposting all of you girls' lovely images. And don't forget to tag us also in them so that we can see them and tag and repost on your behalves. We'll also be reposting from the Miss Universe Great Britain page. So make sure that you're following us as we're trying to build the community and just show people what pageantry is about, and supporting everyone from all different systems and showing you what the world of pageantry is about. But thank you so much for joining me and giving up 30 minutes of your day. I know that in the midst of you guys working and being busy and preparing, it hasn't been easy, but thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me.